Okay, so I'm making my way. So I'm trying something new with the camera here. I'm making my way out to, oh, this is difficult to do. Brian Longbotham's old house. I doubt he still lives here on 664 Flaming Star. I'm not 100% sure on the 664 address part, but he lived on Flaming Star off, I think, Flores, which is interesting that Army Flores, now I think Army Fields or whatever, kind of followed me to Ralph's Supermarket. Okay, so my battery died. It said full and then it just went straight to dead, so that might be a bad battery. Anyways, I was talking about Army Fields, Army Flores, who I believe lives out here as well. A model, ex-stripper, whatever, worked for, married some guy, some photographer, I don't remember his name, whatever, I don't care. But the point is that she was involved, I think, in one of those, kind of following me to Ralph's Shopping Center, then Worldwide Groups going, Kevin stalking models and strippers and this and that, with zero contact, communication, or anything, just being in the same room. Same business building, a very large supermarket. Somehow, Worldwide Groups saying, well, you know, because someone is there who is a stripper or model and you're there, therefore you've committed a crime with Worldwide Groups stalking me, whatever. And of course, I think her playing their little subtweet weird games that they play and then try to turn around on me that I'm weird. Okay, anyways, so I found that interesting because this is off Flores Street. So Flores probably wasn't even her real name. And most strippers really don't generally go by real names anyways. Okay, so Brian Longbotham sent after me when I was about to graduate University of Colorado. Me getting into 3D animation, visual effects. Brian Longbotham sent after me and invested about 15 years to hunt, stalk, set me up, frame me, try to rid me of the world, hiring jobs like hiring me for jobs for Universal Studios, one called Hollyweird, one called Spy Game. I worked with him at Modern Video Film. We were friends for 15 years, so I thought him wanting to start businesses and do all sorts of innovative things, which turned out that his only focus, like everyone else, was to figure out how to remove me from society, investing 15 years, just like Mike Huntley invested 25 years in setup attempts, frame jobs, with every resource business person known to man, to end my existence. I believe the reasoning he chose to move on Flaming Star Road has to somehow do with me. But not only that, he was fired from Modern Video Film. Supposedly his story is that, what was it? One of his employees didn't get credits on some of their visual effects, and he supposedly stood up for him and got fired and sued for breach of contract, was his story. But now that I know he invested 15 years to basically have me killed, with these riling up mass worldwide groups against me, you get the idea that he didn't have good intentions. Okay, so I think we are on Flores, Gold Strike. Let's see, where are we? Flores, and we're going to Flaming Star. Okay, so here is Flaming Star, 2400 North Flaming Star. Oh, I'm kind of close. I don't know. We'll get the sign on the way back. Because the sun's in my eyes anyways. I kind of wanted to get Flores, 600 West Flores. Now this is his house where I used to go and kind of hang out, him wanting to come up with business ideas, but really his motive was not about making money like Mike Huntley. And the sun's in my eyes. So 658, I believe this is it with the black Volt, right? And so let's just kind of cruise around here, and hopefully get away from the sunlight in my eyes and have it behind us. Brian, let me think off the top of my head. Brian Longbotham was involved in endless operations to try to turn me into make it look like I'm a violent paranoid schizo. The things like spy game, hiring. Okay, I don't know how deep I want to go. Spy game. Okay, so what you're seeing on my website with all these people, the gray and black clothing patterns, people mimicking everything I say, off my social networks. Oh wait, we have a gray and black Mini Cooper which looks like he's following me. Let's see if I can get him. He just kind of came from behind and did a U-turn. There he is. Did he get lost? I'm not sure. Anyways, all these things are to try to make it look like I'm crazy and suffer from mental illness. Now, Brian Longbotham hires me to work on spy game at Universal Studios while people are spying on me and playing these mind games to create mental illness. Right? Also, Brian Longbotham hires me to work at Universal Studios and on a pilot called Hollyweird, and this is right after you had a Holly Body follow me into Yankee Doodle's pool hall, and with the guy she was with make some comment, like some belittling comment as she walked by. Then Brian Longbotham hiring me to work on a pilot called Hollyweird, right? While everyone was mad at me for whatever, taking turns in anger and rage, while Universal Studios and Brian Longbotham were making up every lie known to man. Okay, so one of the things I can remember, because remember this is 15 years. Okay, so this is the house that Brian Longbotham either lives or used to live in. I can't tell you, but that's the house. Let's do it. Okay, maybe we'll go around the block anyways. That's the house he was in. Now, Brian Longbotham, this is an example of Brian Longbotham. Okay, first this is Flores Street. Let's get a good video of that. Flores Street. This is 2400 North Flaming Star Ave, or Flaming Star Ave. Yeah, 2400 North Flaming Star Ave. Now I'm working at Hollyweird. And there is a nice view. I'm working at Hollyweird, and wait. Yeah. Okay. I'm working on Hollyweird for a Wes Craven production for a pilot. Linked to Holly Body coming out, following me to Yankee Doodle's pool. Remember, there's probably like, I don't know how many porn stars have followed me to public places trying to set me up or frame me or whatever, which is very strange. And since a very young age, Gold Strike. I don't think I've ever been on Gold Strike. So after Holly Body comes in, they hire me to work on Holly Weird, and with Aubrey Fisher's Your Weird Tactics. And it's a Wes Craven production, and Wes Craven, or Brian Longbotham tells me that Wes Craven, why not point at myself? This is the entire point. Brian Longbotham tells me that Wes Craven wants to do a little visual, like a prank or something on someone, and so he wants me to splice in O.J. Simpson news clip of O.J. fleeing the scene in his white Bronco. Okay, well, my boss is asking me, telling me that this is what Wes Craven wants. What am I supposed to do? I do what I'm told, and you don't really want to get fired, and you're not really doing anything wrong, until you find out years later that what Brian Longbotham was doing was framing me in the eyes of Wes Craven, saying, well, Kevin's fucking with Wes Craven, and Kevin's a violent paranoid schizo, and I don't know why Kevin thinks this is funny, but it's not, blah, 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 whatever. I'm just sort of throwing in the what could have been said based on these situations that are sort of being created around me from Brian Longbotham and many others starting at 5 years old. The point is framing me for simply hiring me to do a job and then framing me, right? So if he did that for that, I can go into all other sorts of things he was involved in. But by the way, that actually links back to things they're trying to dig information from me from childhood and watching Nightmare on Elm Street. So it's not just as simple. It's not just as simple as, oh, hey, I hired Kevin Perlman. I hired Kevin Perlman to destroy his name and reputation. It's not really that simple. It's a little more complex than that. Sorry, getting a good angle. Whatever. It's a little more complex than that. These things are all linking to my childhood with the psychology community. On things my family's trying to get coerced false confessions or make me look angry and crazy or like violent paranoid schizo, which we've seen with the police, trying to make it look like I conform to media. Okay, so example, I watched Nightmare on Elm Street at maybe, 14 years old. My brother and his friends keep showing me horror movies, and in hopes that they can flip me out, right? And this starts at 5 years old with the movie Ralph Bakshi, Wizards, which my father took me to the movie Wizards and told my brother to try to reenact parts with mass groups out of the movie Wizards to flip me out and make it look like I conform to media and I'm crazy, right? So the point is that 15 years later, Brian Longbotham wants me to work these jobs and is saying, Kevin, do this. And then he's going to Wes Craven. This guy is crazy, and he's reliving his childhood. And he thinks he's in the movie Nightmare on Elm Street, and then he thinks he's O.J. Simpson, and we think he's killed someone, and all these crazy, insane things are going on. And with the LAPD, my family, and the psychology community, right? Now, I can't imagine what the fuck warrants something like that done to someone all day and night, 24/7, over and over, since 5 years old, and now I'm 47. It's still going on all day and night. I watch movies now. 60% of media has things taken from me and put in the movies to try to make me look like a violent paranoid schizo for the information I know that they don't want me talking about. But most importantly, while they're making up every lie to make it about me to make it look justified, this starts at 5 years old. So what's the argument? This 5-year-old fucked with me and he ruined my life. He fucked with me because he didn't breastfeed correctly. He fucked with me because he burped up some of his milk. I don't fucking know, right? The point is that these things are being done over and over from person to person and never stop. And Brian Longbotham spent 15 years doing this to me. Mike Huntley, 25 years. Paul Humphrey, 25 years. Tom Farley, 30 years after kissing the black girl at Sunny Skies Day Camp. Kevin's a white supremacist, obviously under orders from family and government. But the point is, I can't tell you why this is going on. I can just tell you that I was targeted and flagged at 5 years old, and these people were sent after me. Another thing Brian Longbotham did was he said, Kevin, let's play paparazzi when he saw that I was getting back into photography. And he said, okay, so there's the house with the element in the vault. I don't know who lives here now. I can't tell you. But he said, let's go to Malibu Starbucks and play paparazzi. And they contacted who did he contact? Martin Sheen and Tia Leone, right? And so he says, let's go down to Starbucks. Let's go down to Starbucks and play paparazzi. Tia Leone goes into Starbucks Malibu. I take a picture of her. Who cares? So what? Okay? We have a Hollywood actor who a guy has taken a picture of her in public, who's a public image, right? Do you understand what I'm saying? She's a public image. She is a Hollywood actress who makes, who knows, $10 million a year, I don't know. And the context of the situation is that she's a public figure and people are going to take her picture. So I take her picture and they play this game like you violated people's space, you destroyed her life, you did this, you did that. Well, let me tell you, I didn't even make any money off of it. I felt really bad, actually. I didn't make any money off of it. Brian wanted the pictures. I didn't give him the pictures. I kind of forgot about him or didn't care. Also, Martin Sheen. He had Martin Sheen come down, right? Hence, Charlie Sheen's acting out in anger and rage with his show 2.5 Men, and I'm sure 100 other shows written with things directed at me in hate and rage for taking a picture of his father, right? Okay, well, the part where nothing makes sense is, I'm sort of going, just driving randomly. The part where nothing really makes much sense, okay, the part which really doesn't make much sense is, I totally lost my train of thought, is why do these people care so much about things that are perfectly normal in their life, right? Oh my God, a huge actor, you take pictures of a huge actor who's used to having their pictures taken, and now they've launched worldwide campaigns to revenge you and end your existence, right? Okay? Right? That doesn't really make much sense. Okay? These people are damn well used to it. They're damn well used to paparazzis making shitloads of money off them. And when Kevin Perlman is simply asked to just go down and take some pictures because some actors might show up at a Starbucks one single time in his life, right? We're not talking, I'm a paid paparazzi following actors around all day and night, a single time thing, then Worldwide groups are notified to hunt me down and kill me and go, we don't want you at any Starbucks or coffee shops, which then obviously change from thing to thing. But you have to question what's going on, right? If you're trying to say I'm known worldwide because I took a picture of Tia Leone and Martin Sheen at a coffee shop or in a shopping center, and there's a worldwide group trying to kill you over it, that's strange, because they're not trying to kill the actual real paparazzis, right? They're just trying to kill me, Kevin Perlman, right? So these are things that don't make sense. They don't make any sense at all. So the point that I'm kind of getting at is, and I kind of came around trying to figure out what the angle here. I don't know what you can see. That's kind of his house, but whatever. The point I'm getting at is these aren't situations that anyone normally cares about. Nobody cares normally. But yet people are sort of trying to use these stupid, insignificant things to make hunting me down, killing me look justified. You're an out-of-control monster. You know what you did. Well, I'm going to hint that you think you're a paparazzi and took a picture of someone. Right? That doesn't really make much sense. Okay, so I'm switching batteries, and I just wanted to sort of document the yellow and black, which we might see more yellow and blacks, because they obviously see that I'm in the neighborhood. Videoing. So some yellow and blacks, and usually they ramp up attacks in the local area very fast within minutes through internet technology. So I saw yellow and black, which means we might see more yellow and blacks. Okay, so the point I was making here is that ooh, these droopy eyes, like Rocky eyes. Okay, sorry, I had to make a joke. My little squinty eyes. Okay, so the point I'm making is that nobody cares. Nobody could care less if some guy's at a Starbucks and takes a picture of Tia Leone or Martin Sheen. Yet Brian Longbotham contacted them to show up and then managed to tell the entire planet how I ruined these people's lives. Right? All these things are the same. I tapped my foot around Aubrey Fisher. There's a worldwide campaign to kill me. Today we have groups of people running around with therapists mad at me, like Brittany Henderson, because in 2008 I said, "How's it going to a coffee bean employee?" And them playing this game like there's a miscommunication about threatening his life or saying, you're not allowed here, I don't want you here, I'm going to run you out. Or weird, freaky things like this that don't make any sense, right? I mean, think about it. If you were to walk up to someone and try to be friendly and say, how's it going? Okay, now I want you to notice the gray and blacks and the second group of people at the same time pushing strollers, right? So instantly two people came out, yellow, black, gray and black, both at the same time pushing strollers within minutes. Okay, and we might even see a lot more of them. Okay, so my point is that that Aubrey Fisher, you tapped your foot by me, there's a worldwide campaign to kill you with the foot tapping crime. Well, wait, how am I known worldwide? I'm not some famous actor, right? So there's a big jump between trying to live a normal life and every single thing you do is collected, put in Brian Longbotham's laundry list to have you killed with worldwide support on things that nobody could care about, right? Does that make sense? You tapped your foot, we're going to kill you. You blinked your eyes, we're going to kill you. You went to a coffee shop and you rested your feet on a chair while reading a book, we're going to kill you. You bought a shirt at 29 Lord's Gym, we're going to kill you. All all these things that nobody could normally care less about. If I do it, there's a worldwide campaign to kill me, saying I'm reckless and out of control. But yet, this is what people worldwide do all day and night. And so the point is that these are normal things. They're just trying to give me disinformation and make me think that killing me is justified, right? We're going to kill you and it's because you farted. We're going to kill you because you blinked wrong. We're going to kill you because you yawned on a date. We're going to kill you because you didn't pay your taxes on time, right? I mean, nobody thinks that way unless they're a murdering Nazi, right? And so my point is that why is everyone mad at me when I'm the target? It doesn't make any sense. But that is what's going on. Oh, I just passed this house. Whatever. We'll do another loop around. That is what's going on, and it doesn't really make much sense, but it's going on in the entire entertainment industry, adult industry. All these people have been hunting me down since a young child, and it's very strange. And then they turn around. He's crazy. He's too sensitive. Here's the second group that came out with the yellow and black pushing the kid, right? And so you understand that what's going on doesn't make any sense. It's not kosher. It's about hate, rage, anger, jealousy. It links to my brother's, me stopping him from bashing Gregoire's skull in with a crowbar. I just noticed this. This is Fargo Street. Is there a correlation between Fargo Street, Tom Farley wanting me to see the movie Fargo so bad, and Brian Longbotham moving around here with Fargo and Flores, Fargo and Flores. Here's the second group, right? Notice how they live close to each other. With Fargo and Flores, using the street names to try to make me mentally ill, which they've been doing my whole life, right? Right. For example, my father talking about porn stars' names being the first street you lived on and things like this, trying to flip me out with porn stars. Or my father having me finding a property on me for Burbank and Juliana, or working on me with girls named Julia and Juliana and things like this, and using street names to try to create paranoid schizophrenia, or the illusion thereof, right? So you get the idea, and while I could literally talk for like 100 hours about Brian Longbotham, I'm drawing a little blank right now on some of the things he was involved in. Let's see. He wanted to start companies. One he came up with an idea called Virtual PO, Virtual Post Office, a website about notification systems on the internet when you receive a post office box package based on an internet website, which was a pretty good idea, except he didn't really want to make money. He was trying to get some kind of false coerced confession about post office boxes, right? We're here in Thousand Oaks, and he wanted me to do a project up here in Thousand Oaks at the Civic Center, where he went in and he had all these ulterior motives because he wanted to test out an Onyx computer, which is like a $500,000 Silicon Graphics computer. So he went to the Civic Center here, which isn't really the worst thing in the world, but he went to the Civic Center here and said, look, we want to screw around with virtual reality, and we want to use your facility and demo it to people and this and that and see if it's viable for the city of Thousand Oaks. Well, it turned out the price tag on an Onyx for $500,000 wasn't viable for the city of Thousand Oaks in what you can do now for a $800 computer, right? With virtual reality, which way surpasses a NVIDIA 280 card now, or even a 1080 or a 980, surpasses a million times over what that $500,000 Onyx was doing, right? Anyways, that's not the point. The point is that back in the late 90s, when we were doing this, he kind of knew it wasn't going to work out for them, but he just wanted to screw around with the Onyx, although truth be told, everyone benefits, except it's not really a viable solution in the end for the city of Thousand Oaks to sport that kind of money and whatever. And it ended a little poorly, because I kind of got reeled into this thing where I had ulterior motives and I want to do something bigger. But either way, no matter how you want to look at it, and I just kind of want to note that these dog walkers are both wearing all black, like the groups of people that were recently showing up at the Starbucks. But anyways, it's not the type of thing, whether that works out or not, that worldwide groups say, well, you're a fraudulent murderer, and we're going to hunt you down and kill you, and you committed a crime, although nobody cares about what Brian Longbotham did, because he's the guy that wanted to do it, and I was just kind of with him like, I'll help you, and there's no real crime here. Everyone benefits from screwing around with VR equipment. It just wasn't viable for the city of Thousand Oaks to do. Now, Brian Longbotham did some kind of dick move, like when he was done, like, well, we're out of here and we'll let them send it back. You know, that was kind of a dick move on his behalf, and you know he was kind of pinning it on me, the guy who's just along for the ride, helping out, right? Oh, other things. Brian Longbotham hires me. He has a friend that does owns Shark Vacuum Cleaners. Now, there's a whole subset of things with Alexis Amore taking me to Yankee Doodles and trying to shark me, dick around, act like a ass puppet, and try to shark me by hiding my pool cue, while him wanting me to play someone for money, which I wasn't really a money player, but he wanted to see if I could beat some guy for money, so I beat some guy for money, but for like $10, right? Who cares? And not that it mattered. I'm not judging actual pool players that play for money. If you do, good for you. That's your gig. I was never a money player. I was more of a straight pool. It's more about perfection and prolonged focus and zen. It wasn't really about the quick 9-ball making money, right? Okay, but whatever your thing is, who cares? That's your thing. Okay, needless to say, my family and Brian Longbotham mad at me for being a pool player, as if my family saw the movie The Hustler and Color Money, and they think that by playing pool, that's how pool is, and you're playing for thousands of dollars a game, and everyone's getting their arms and legs broken, right? Well, that's not how pool is, unless you're living in a movie, right? Okay, so Brian Longbotham, I almost said Brian Weaver, because Brian Weaver was sent after me at 16, or in 8th grade. what was the point I was getting? Pool. Linking to Brian Longbotham wanting me to play not only the Holly Body thing and the Holly Weird pilot, but Brian Longbotham wanting me to play the guy for money, hiding my cue to sort of kind of jokingly act like a 50-year-old ass puppet, and then to shark me, and then taking me to the restaurant Sharky's, where Alexis Amore and her mother were waiting for me, except when I went up to talk to Alexis Amore, she played this game like she didn't remember me, in hopes she could probably sort of try to trigger me, or get me angry at her to say, oh, see, look, we proved he's a murderer and a serial killer with anger and rage and lack of self-control. But like usual, those tactics, those 40-year tactics all day and night, 24/7, did not succeed or work. Hence the cover-up aspect of what's going on, to have me hunted and killed for their crimes against me in these mass worldwide groups. Hence the connection between Pool Hall, Holly Body, the pilots, Holly Weird, the pilots' spy games, where worldwide groups are actually literally playing spy games on me to try to make it look like I conform to media, which, remember, starts at 5 years old from my father, brother, friends, now 60% of media worldwide working on me, saying, you better accept what's going on or we kill you, with the police and government, and psychology community, which is even stranger, as punishment for finding out they're hunting me, targeting me to have me killed or locked away, for no reason at all, but simply a government flagging. We flagged you, we're going to lock you away. More of Brian Longbotham's things. Remember, this was 15 years over and over, thing after thing. Oh, the shark thing. So after this, after the Yankee Doodles and the sharking and Sharkies, Brian Longbotham then says, I want to hire you for a job for my friend who owns Sharky's vacuums, and he wants you to take pictures and photo document the video shoot for some kind of commercial. Okay, so once again, I'm hired for a job by Brian Longbotham, and at the same time, Brian Longbotham is telling everyone that I'm trying to provoke and sabotage and shark the shark vacuum guy, right? His friend, right? You get it? You see these frame jobs? These things have been done to me over and over since 5 years old. But the point is, why is this guy exerting 15 years to do these things to me? And then it switches to the next person, right? Before that, Mike Huntley sent after me, 14 years old. I want you to introduce you to my friend Melody, the stripper, and she needs someone to bounce for her these bachelor parties. Oh, well, you took the cookie and ate it, so now we gotta punish you for what you did, which aren't punishable things. There's nothing I did wrong, right? It's not anything that anyone would care about. So here we have like hundreds of billions of people all over the planet. Whoa, when you're 14 or when you're 16, you bounce for a stripper. Okay, so does anyone give a flying fuck? No. We got porn stars having wads blown in their face all day on video and spewed out to the world, and nobody could care less. But you bounce for a stripper at 16, and it's the end-all be-all of crimes, and strippers and porn stars are mad at you for it. Okay? Doesn't make any sense, right? Okay, so my point, though, is that Brian Longbotham wasn't working alone. Brian Longbotham was working with Mike Huntley, Tom Farley, Paul Humphrey, Adriano Olivares, tons of people in the adult industry, tons of people in the entertainment industry, tons of people in the music industry. I met Brian Longbotham maybe 24, 25 years old. This starts at 5 years old, right? Tom Farley. I Kiss a Black Girl. Tom Farley claiming around 8 years old that I saw an alien and I'm crazy. Tom Farley, an alien light in his bathroom and I'm crazy. Tom Farley making up the lie and trying to put the words in my mouth, right? I never said it. Tom Farley saying that I hate black people and I'm white supremacist. I hate Persians after I started going to Coffee Bean. on Tampa and Victory, trying to sabotage me going out and talking and meeting people and being social. Tom Farley sabotaging, not just sabotaging, but riling up worldwide groups to have me killed. Tom Farley working with Aubrey Fisher, sent after me by the government, and Rody Morales working with the LAPD to claim that I've killed someone. In those frame jobs, Tom Farley working on the Kevin's a white supremacist because he kissed a black girl at Sunny Skies Day Camp. Tom Farley egg mobbing Eric Johnson at 8th grade and saying it was me. Tom Farley egging cars, saying it was me. Tom Farley, or Richard Grunberg, around 13 years old, stealing the Woodman's skateboard, saying it was me. Eric Johnson, around 13, shoving an M80 in Darren Light's mailbox, saying it was me, right? So the point I'm getting at while talking about Brian Longbotham, who I met at 24 years old to, who knows, 36 or something, working on me to rid me of the world with all the 800-pound gorillas to create the chaos in my life, linking back to my brother and radio chaos and using movie to try to make me look crazy, to chaos me to death with worldwide support and my brother's death threats. Me and my friend put a teacher in a mental illness. Me and my brother put a teacher in a mental institution, and now we have a bug in your room, and we're listening to everything you do on the radio to try to flip me out. This was around 16, I think. This all happening after I stopped from bashing Greg while I was head in with a crowbar, after Jen Yang broke up with him and started dating Greg, and him mad at me for not spying on Greg, and telling him that there was a rumor that Jen was kissing Greg, might have been kissing Greg in the back of Tom Hoke's station wagon while my brother's off at University of Colorado in this long distance relationship, but yet my brother's all blurting that my brother's blurting out that Greg should hang out with Jen Yang. Well, that sounds a little strange. I mean, if you don't think that that's a staged operation, it is, right? Now them hunting me down with my brother's blood is thicker than water speech and mobster speech, and now, since then, at 16, I'm 47, there have been worldwide groups all day and night trying to kill me, but remember, this actually starts at 5 years old, where I can link thing after thing. Anyways, without going too far on a tangent, I just wanted you to understand that while Brian Longbotham is a 15-year part of this 47-year extermination campaign, and a huge part because he had the resources in Hollywood and the entertainment industry to hunt me down and turn these mass groups against me. Why is he doing it? Why is he taking part? Right? That I can't figure out. I mean, what do? You walk up to a guy and you go, "You see, Kevin, he's a horrible monster and I want you to help us kill him." Okay, sure. Yeah. I'm in. He's a horrible monster. Let's kill him. Okay, how many people do you know that actually happens to, especially from stranger after stranger, worldwide helping, right? I mean, close to none, right? I mean, eventually there's some, like, white trash murderers and things like that, but when you have worldwide support for 40 years in these murder operations and government flaggings, that's strange. Okay, so I'm about to leave, and I'm just trying to think of if there's anything important that I need to kind of talk about Brian Longbotham that I forgot. And remember, I knew him for 15 years. I knew him for 15 years. He worked on me for 15 years with the rest of them. Oh, Rick Caruso Properties. Okay. there's several things. While Brian Longbotham's big thing was turning all the 800-pound gorillas against me to have me killed, he wanted to show me Rick Caruso properties. Why? I can't tell you. Why would Rick Caruso give a flying fuck about some guy, some nobody who's never really accomplished much in his life? I can't tell you. We're getting back now to Lynn Road, and while there's a whole subset of things with Lynn Junkin sent after me in University of Colorado, that's for another topic. But okay, so why would Brian Longbotham? Oh, Avenue de las Flores. That's the street. It's not Flores. It's let's see if I can get the sign. Okay, and Lynn Road. Okay, so why would I totally lost my train of thought. What the hell was I talking about? Oh, why would Rick Caruso care about Kevin Perlman? Well, I can only imagine the lies that Brian Longbotham was making up about the lies that Brian Longbotham was making up about me to Rick Caruso, but there's no doubt in my mind that Brian Longbotham was working some angle about, some angle about, who knows, Kevin and property, maybe me doing something wrong to rile them up against me, $1 billion real estate agent guy who builds properties, right? Another thing I can kind of remember out in Thousand Oaks is while doing the community center thing with the VR, Brian Longbotham taking a picture of a Persian rug place and the guy getting mad and spazzing out about the picture in some little argument. Now, I can't really link that to much, but two things, and that is the Big Lebowski movie with carpet pissers, which links back to Tom Hoke pissing on our carpet when he was drunk at one of our parties at my father's house, and then trying, I think, to make it think that I have no self-control, and I pissed on the carpet at my father's house, which while being blatantly inebriated and drunk, still not the type of thing that anyone cares about. But sort of putting it in the movie to make people think that I'm the carpet pisser. And then my father buying Persian rugs right after, or a couple of years after I moved back, or within the same time period. I can't tell you what the relevance is, except we have Persians even today following me from 8 years ago, who, with their network terror cells, following me to coffee shops, trying to have me killed because it links to Tom Farley and his lies, and I'm Jewish, right? Remember when I talk about Tom Farley, I kissed a black girl at 8 years old. He's telling the world with my family that I'm a white supremacist, filled with anger and rage with Mike Huntley, Paul Humphrey, my family, and then trying to have me killed with my brother and family with mass groups worldwide. Okay? And the question you need to ask is that if someone kisses a black girl at 8 years old, that shows he likes black girls and has affection for black girls. And while I don't think I'm black and like O.J. Simpson, I just simply kissed a black girl. And after that, it's a worldwide campaign to remove me from society, that I'm a violent, paranoid schizo. All based on thin air. But when I talk about all these people in my life, look at the pattern of behaviors between me being the nicest person known to man and each one coming in my life with ulterior motives that we're going to rid you of the world and turn the world against you, right? And that's the point that I'm making with my brother's big thing with the butterfly effect and chaos theories and Roger Waters, Radio Chaos, and all the little hidden messages he was sending me while riling up the masses to have me killed. Now, it's hard to really know where this starts, but I can tell you it starts at 4 to 5 when I threw some mud and water in the street and it hit a car and a guy hit his brakes and ran out of the car yelling at me, and I ran in the house at 4 to 5 years scared, and my family running around stating that I'm somehow provoking people, trying to cause car accidents and things like this from a simple accident that any kid could make, showing that this doesn't make any sense, just like the foot tapping crime by Aubrey Fisher and being hunted for 6 years worldwide with people tapping linked to Brian Longbotham, Tom Farley, that this doesn't seem to really be about anything at all. Just, I don't like you and you're a dead man, starting at the age 4 to 5. And so I just wanted to kind of do a little video documenting of the Brian Longbotham, where he lived, and I don't think he lives there anymore. As a matter of fact, when I took video and pictures maybe 6 months ago at his house, the cars actually look like they're in the identical positions. Now, I can't say that for sure, but if they are, that tells you something. Just like when Victoria Walker moved up here on Lynn Road and Kelly Road, hinting about Lynn Junkin and Kelly Hatch, before they put me in jail to try to cover up their crimes, to try to silence me. You get the idea, because who was it that introduced me to Victoria Walker? Brian Longbotham introduced me to Michael Bialis, an intern at a forensics law firm. And you might want to ask why someone who is suing for breach of contract, for credit rolls, has forensics accountants. What does that have to do with the other? Well, I can't tell you. But what I can tell you is that I was introduced to Michael Bialis with the Rudy the Rubber Show. And Michael Bialis wanted free website work. And I became friends with Michael Bialis and Victoria Walker for years, and they were sent after me by Brian Longbotham to remove me from society. And so if you kind of want to understand how these things link and connect from person to person, that can all be explained through the hierarchy of who was introduced to me from who, and why they all had motives to remove me from society, one sequentially after the next, right? That's kind of the point I'm making here. And so I just kind of wanted you to understand the dynamics and the hierarchical tree of person after person sent after me, all wanting me dead and gone before even ever becoming my friend. And you might say, well, that's strange. If you don't like someone, why talk to them, associate with them, and become friends for 15, 25, 30 years if you don't like them, right? That mobster mentality, mobster murderer mentality of keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer, has seemed to be the entire defining term to every person that's ever been in my life since 5 years old, while every person I'm being the nicest person to known to man, each and every person is trying to reel me in, get me closer, hunt me down, get whatever they can to use against me, and end my existence. And then, of course, in the end, it's all turned around on me that I'm a horrible monster. Mike Huntley's words at 29 when finding out, I'm a monster, I've given you enough rope to hang yourself with, you're out of control for California, posting things, singing World of Paranoia over and over to make me mentally ill, to let me know they're making me mentally ill to kill me, which starts at 5 years old. Originally, Mike Huntley, my brother Jason Perlman's friend, and what else did he say? I had better live a careful life. He's using the system against me, meaning he's working with the police to hunt me down, and my father, and you get the idea, right? You get the idea that these people want me dead and gone for no reason at all. And so all the things we're seeing worldwide, all day and night, 24/7, to kill me, all linked to 4 to 5 years, my family, my brother, my father, working with the psychology community and the police and government on some kind of flagging and murder operations. With the most recent, they want to incarcerate me for life for what I know. They want to jail me for life, put me in mental institutions, or have me killed or rid of the world, all for the crime of turning 29 and finding these things out. But remember, 16, my brother's threats, he's going to put me in a mental institution, linking back to 5 years old. Well, I've never heard of a situation where someone who wants the best for someone wants to lock them away in a cage, right? Or kill them. They want them to roam free and do great, magnificent things, and that type of thought process isn't about helping someone. It's hate, rage, jealousy. I don't like. Maybe it's I had a kid and I want an abortion afterwards. I just didn't like what I got, and so let's get rid of it, right? I mean, I can't tell you. All I can tell you is that is the thought process of people that think like that. Right? It's not, I want you to have a good life by locking you away and trying to make you look crazy. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there. I wanted you to see where Brian Longbotham lived on Flaming Star Road in Thousand Oaks. And more importantly, most likely, like usual, there's motive to their madness with the street names. Flaming Star. Don't exactly know what it means. Avenue de las Flores, Fargo, probably linking to them making the movie Fargo and Tom Farley, wanting me to see Fargo so bad and trying to hint to me that I'm a serial killer and all these things. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this segment, and so just a little more insight into my life and what's really going on deeper than the surface and what the government with their government propaganda want you to believe that I'm some crazy man who believes in conspiracy theories and this and that, right? And MK Ultra and all that, right? That has nothing to do with anything but people trying to make me look crazy and cover up operations like the prosecutor, Kareen T. Phillips, trying to cover up their illegal judicial operations to have me killed since 5 years old, trying to say I'm a violent paranoid schizo who believes in conspiracy theories and conforms to movies, none of which is remotely true. Okay, so anyways, now that you sort of understand the dynamics of the situation, linking to Brian Longbotham, who was sent after me, pretty much a 50-year-old molesting a 24-year-old, you get the idea.